Welcome to the 1-Star Weak Foot Show, FIFA 21 edition, starring your host, 1-Star Weak Foot, and our review specialist, 1-Star Weak Foot. Bow! Good evening, wonderful people of YouTube, and welcome to the 1-Star Weak Foot Show, your one-stop shop for player reviews. I'm going to be your host today, 1-Star Weak Foot, and it makes me feel so nice to see you back on the channel. Thank you very much for tuning in. So, as you can tell by the thumbnail, we have another double player review for you guys today. And unlike yesterday, we are not talking about center backs today. We will be talking about two of possibly the most coveted center defensive mids on this game. It's going to be none other than prime icon Petit and middle icon Lahm. Alright guys, this is the part of the video where we're going to look at their cards. The first card is going to be middle icon Philip Lom, and this is a card I have not tried yet, this FIFA. He has a right back version. I believe he also has a left back version. This is his only center defensive mid version, and when you look at the card, he looks like a very nice card actually. He looks like a center defensive mid with some options as far as pushing forward. He's 5'7". He has high work rates. He's right footed, of course, with a 3-star combination, as you guys see here. I have played 5 games with him, all of them in rivals, and I have 0 goals and 2 assists. Before we go any further, if you're enjoying the content, if you want more content like this, do me a big solid and hit the like button down below. And if you're new to the channel, as always, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate all you guys at home for watching this video. And if you have any icon review requests, let me know in the comments. So, when you look at this Philip Lom card, I mean, yo, he has a very meta looking card. Of course, the pace at 82 is going to be very nice. Shooting wise, he doesn't really have that much. Passing and dribbling wise is where he really shines as far as going forward. I mean, he has the passing stats of a Cam. He has the passing stats of a deep blind playmaker. And dribbling wise, with his 5'7" height, these stats are really going to feel really nice. It's very rare you have a center defensive mid on this game that has 90 defending as well as some quality pushing forward, and that's what I think this card really is for. Defending wise, you already know these stats are absolutely broken. I threw an anchor cam style on them and pretty much they're maxed out, almost all 99s here. Physical wise, we have a big question mark because he has 89 stamina, which is fantastic. Decent jumping, 61 strength, 65 aggression on the center defensive mid. Is he going to be a card breaker? We're going to see. The next card we're talking about here, as I mentioned earlier in the video, is going to be prime icon 90 rated Petit. And one of the reasons I looked at this card is because somebody requested this last week. I forgot who it was, so I apologize for that, but I do remember seeing a comment requesting this review, and when you look at the card, I can see why. He's 6'1". He has high work rates just like Lahm does. He's left-footed, and once again, just like Lahm does, he has a 3-star combination, as you guys see here. I have played 5 games with him, all in rivals, and he has 2 goals and 0 assists. And when you look at what he brings in comparison to Lahm, they have some similar qualities here with the decent pace, the decent defending. But what he really brings in comparison to Lahm is the 6'1" height, the incredible physical with 88 strength, 91 aggression. What he does lack here is some dribbling stats, because Lahm has the dribbling stats almost of a winger. Petit has the dribbling stats that don't look horrible when you look at a 6'1" CDM. But some stats do stand out here as bad stats. 72 dribbling, no bueno. 79 agility on the 6'1" guy, once again, no good. Passing wise, he does have surprising quality. 90 short passing, 84 long passing. Very good stats. And shooting wise, I was actually surprised. I mean, he scored 2 goals for me. He has 71 finishing. He has incredible long shots, so he does have some quality pushing forward that that Lahm card does not have. So without further ado, we're gonna jump into the gameplay. I'm gonna take you over to our review specialist in the studios, 1-Star Weak Foot. Take it away. Thanks, 1-Star. So as you guys know, we have yet another double review today, so they better be paying me overtime. The first card we're talking about here is 89 rated Philip Lom. He's a 1.2 million card on the PS4 market. Is he worth the coins? I would have to say, if he fits your style, I would have to say it's not a bad value. Comparing him to other CDMs in this price range in the icon market, I do think he's a decent value. We're gonna break down the stats. The first thing here is the pace, 82 pace. How does it feel? I would have to say it feels just like the stats indicate. Of course, I did throw an anchor cam style on it, which brings him up to about 86 pace. And in my opinion, he did feel kind of quick. He was very good at dealing with counters. He was very good at dealing with more nimble players, very responsive and everything like that. But he doesn't really have that top end pace. But that's just me being nitpicky. Overall, this guy's pace is a 9 out of 10. Next, we'll talk about his passing and dribbling because he doesn't really offer much in the box. I did test his shooting. I did not like it. We're going to talk about his passing and dribbling though. And honestly, these are elite. For a CDM, for a player that's defensive minded, I don't think I've ever used a card that had this much quality going forward. And it starts with his passing. He has 88 vision, 90 short passing, 88 long passing, 86 curve. And when you want a deep line playmaker, you envision stats like this on this Lahm card. And in game, he was really nice. He transitioned my defense to attack very well, and he's really the kind of CDM you want to bring in if you like to take the ball and immediately counter and immediately push that ball forward. This Lahm card is going to do that very well. His dribbling makes him one of the most press resistant CDMs I have used on this game. If you've ever used Conte, he feels very similar as far as responsiveness, as far as the small circles that Conte can make. But what he does better than a player like Conte is have that true quality on the ball, and it's because he has the 80 dribbling, the 87 ball control, that 90 goddamn 5 composure. So if you want somebody who can dribble through a defense and then unlock the defense with a killer through ball, this Lahm card is going to be able to bring that. If you want somebody who could be press resistant, no matter how much your opponent presses, this Lahm card is going to be very good at that. Overall, his passing and dribbling is a 9.5 out of 10. He is completely elite in this category. Next, we'll talk about his defending, and I have a lot of things to say here, all right? The number one thing I really noticed about this card was his defensive AI was absolutely broken. He was always in the right place at the right time, and his breakup play was immense. I mean, sometimes it felt like he would teleport out of nowhere and just take the ball. Like your opponent would have the open pass, next thing you know, it wasn't open because Lahm teleported there. His stand tackle, I would say, is very similar to Conte's in that it's very clean. It's very similar to like a pit bull, where you're just gonna be like nipping away at the opposition until you take the ball away. But you do notice his lack of strength and aggression when it comes up to playing against the bigger players. Overall, this guy's defending is a 9 out of 10. He's a very good card if you like CDMs in his stature. Finally, we'll be talking about his physical, and as I alluded to earlier in the video, his strength and aggression is no good, all right? He gets bullied at times, especially if you're facing somebody with a big midfield, a la a Pogba, similar to a Hullet, something like that. You're gonna notice his lack of strength and aggression. It's a bit annoying. His stamina means he lasts all game. Overall, though, I have to give his physical a 6 out of 10. All right, guys, so what's the final verdict on this card? I think this Lahm card is the perfect card for people who like to have technically proficient CDMs, who like to have small CDMs who could really keep a lock on these agile players on this game. The player he's not for is the player who likes the bigger CDMs, who likes the Vieiras, who likes the Bakayokos from FIFA 18. This Lahm card will get bullied from time to time with his lack of strength and aggression, but if you know how to use his finesse, which is his interceptions, which is his extremely clean tackling, which is his extremely great passing and dribbling, I think you're really going to enjoy this card. And overall, I have to give him an 8.75 out of 10. Is he worth the money? You have to ask yourself, does he fit your style? And if he does, I would have to say absolutely. The next card we are talking about here is 90 Rated Petite. He's selling for 1.1 million on the PS4 market. Is he worth it? I would have to say I don't really co-sign it here, and we're going to talk about it. The first thing we're going to talk about is his pace. He has 77 pace. And honestly, this is a stat where he has just enough pace at this stage of the game. If we fast forward to 1 to 2 months from now, I do think he's going to be one of those cards that feels too slow, unless you like to put your player on drop between defenders, like your CDM on drop between defenders, because even in certain games, I had a hard time dealing with counters with this Petite card. It was kind of annoying. Overall, though, I have to give his pace a 7 out of 10. Next, we actually are going to talk about shooting because I did notice some quality here. His finishing with his left foot from certain angles was actually solid. I mean, I scored 2 goals with him in one game, which was actually pretty stupid. His attack positioning was very, very good. I really noticed the runs he made in comparison to Lahm. And his long shots, if you catch them correctly, are going to be bangers. Overall, this guy's shooting is a 7.5 out of 10. He does actually contribute pushing forward if you like that out of your CDM. Next, we'll talk about his passing and dribbling. How is he as a ball-playing CDM? And honestly, there is some good here. His passing was brilliant, in my opinion. He has 90 short passing, 84 long passing, and his curve and vision, while not great, are good enough to support those stats. His long passing was very good. If you want to transition from defense to attack very quickly and just hit a lob ball, maybe a driven pass, he's going to be able to do that with very good accuracy. Where he does let me down as far as a ball playing center defensive mid goes is his dribbling. I mean, he feels like a truck. There's no way to get around it, and if the gameplay is delayed, which I did experience 1 or 2 times when using him, he's kind of useless on the ball. I'm not gonna lie. He is the opposite of Lahm in that he is not press resistant at all unless you keep it extremely simple. And what I will say is that if he gets pressed with his 72 dribbling, it will not be pretty at all. Overall, this guy, his dribbling, I would say his passing is an 8 out of 10, and his dribbling is 6.5 out of 10. It's not horrible, but at the same time, he lacks that true quality that you want out of this price range. Finally, we'll be talking about his defending and physical, and honestly, I do think he was brilliant here. He was much more impactful when my team was set in the box. So if you're getting countered, this Petit card, unless you have him to drop between defenders, is going to have a hard time. But if your opponent attacks slow and you have your defense set, this Petit card is actually a beast. When he's in position, this stand tackle is brilliant. He has very long legs to wrap around attackers even when he's caught and they're in behind him. His interceptions are very nice as well. And what really separates him from other CDMs in this price range is his strength and aggression. 88 strength, 91 aggression. He's 6'1". If he's anywhere near that ball, he's coming away with it. His stamina 93 means he lasts all game, and his jumping is actually very good. He wins a lot of headers in the air. Overall, this guy's defending and physical is a 9.75 out of 10. It is close to perfect, and if he's in position, he's gonna win that ball. Alright guys, so what's the final verdict on Petit's card? I do think he's a very good card, but because of the lack of pace, the lack of dribbling, I do think he's going to be a card that's outdated a month or 2 from now. So I can't really co-sign the 1.1 million price. I do think a better value for him would be maybe 600 or 700k. I don't think when you compare him to cards like Baby Essien, when you compare him to cards even like the Lahm card I tried today, I would use him over those cards. I think those cards are much better values if you're looking for an icon in this price range. Alright guys, so that's going to be my double review today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it once again. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I will see you guys in the next episode, but until then,